What's up everybody? I am Eric, and this is Man in Short Pants Does Skateboarding.
Fact!
Today, I'm gonna give you some advice on how to get your wheelies looking proper. Before we start, you're gonna notice that I call them wheelies. That's because, as far as I've been told, wheelies are done on flat ground and manuals are done on obstacles. I'm going to be going over a lot of basic stuff in the beginning, so if you are more comfortable on your skateboard already, you can skip ahead to this time, and then you won't have to worry about all that basic shit. So the first step in learning wheelies is getting the tailstop. If you can get to tailstop comfortably, you'll be much less likely to slide out when doing them. When learning tailstop, you want to have your feet in a very comfortable position for you, with your back foot on the tail and your front foot just by the bolts. I find it helpful in the beginning when you're just learning to have a little bit of your back foot hanging off of the tail. That way, when you lose your balance a little bit, you have some sort of grip so that you don't slide out and end up on your ass. As a beginner, this motion might feel extremely weird, but you want to remember not to lean backwards or forwards too much. You just want to place your foot down on the ground. You're lifting up slightly with your front foot and placing your back foot onto the ground. You do not want to lean backwards at all. If you start leaning your entire body, you're going to end up falling. So as you're standing on your board, think of two straight lines running down your hip. You don't want to lean back or forward at all. You want to push directly down with that back foot while lifting up slightly with the front. The second thing you want to learn is skidding to tailstock. The reason I think this is important is because when you lose your balance a little bit, you might end up dragging your tail across the ground as you're going. And if you can skid to tailstock really comfortably, you'll avoid falling on your ass. Now, this next step is basically the same as the first, except you're just doing it while you move. So, like I said before, you don't want to lean back or forwards at all. You want to just push down with that back foot. As I've said that, if you are just learning this and you are afraid of sliding out backwards, you can lean forward slightly as you do it. Go slow. You don't need to rush into this. This is something you can get the feel of, just going very slowly. You just want to do a nice little glide to a stop. The third thing I'm going to go over is probably the most important. It's foot position and body position. If you're holding an improper foot position, it's going to make this trick a lot harder, and it's going to surprise you how a subtle shift in just your body is going to make this trick 1,000 times easier. Foot placement is a tough one because everybody's a bit different. So I can't really tell you exactly what's going to work for you, but I can tell you a bit about what your foot placement is going to do to your wheelie. So if you have your feet very far apart, it's going to make it more difficult to balance, or at least lift the front of the board up and keep it upwards. But that being said, the further your feet are apart, the less likely you're going to slide out backwards and fall on your ass. So for beginners, I would recommend a wider stance. Let's move on to the stance you want to take. Instead of the classic street skater stance, or as Bob Lofton puts it, the gorilla taking a dump stance, you're going to want to have more of a slalom skateboarding stance, so your front foot more on an angle, instead of parallel to each other. So, as I said, everyone is a bit different with their foot placement. If it feels more comfortable having your feet like this, that's okay, do that. I find it a little easier for me. I have more control with a little bit of my heel sticking off and a little bit of my toe sticking off. And my front foot angled right on the bolt. Other than foot placement, your body position plays an incredible role in wheelies. You'll be very surprised how different your wheelies will become when you engage your upper body muscles properly. So when you're standing on your board, about to pop a wheelie, you want to raise your arms in the air like you just don't care, and flex your arm and chest muscles. Now, the reason I suggest doing that is because if you go all loosey-goosey and just throw your arms in the air like noodles, you're not going to be able to hold the balance. You won't be able to hold the wheelie at all very well. And it'll be even worse if you don't raise your arms up in the air at all. So the first thing you want to do before you even lift up the front of your board is lift your arms in the air and engage those pectoral and arm muscles so that you can hold those wheelies real tight. One more little tip about your body position. You want to have your upper body angled more towards the nose of your board. Instead of having to hold the wheelie with that one side of your body, controlling it with the one part of your chest and that one arm, it really helps spread the load over your entire upper body instead of focusing on that one side, allowing you to hold that wheelie a lot longer. And the last step, and probably the most annoying, is practice. This is a trick that's not going to come overnight. You're not going to jump on your board and manual 500 feet or for 10 minutes. The best thing you can do is just practice these. Every time you're riding, just pop a wheelie. Every time you set up for a new trick, just practice a wheelie. If you're riding down the street, just do a wheelie. If you're at home, do a wheelie. If you're in your living room, on a carpet, do a wheelie. Doesn't matter where you are, you can just practice these. And the more you practice this, the more you'll build up the muscles that you need to hold these longer. Now, one big tip to help you hold your wheelies longer is just to stand on one leg. Pretend you have your board under your feet and just hold a wheelie position. You know, you'd think that it might not be that helpful, but strengthening your ankles and calf muscles and your entire leg and just getting the hang of that balance and the position in general is a lot more helpful than you'd imagine. In fact, I've been doing this entire thing standing on one leg. It helps. Do it. So that's it for me. I really hope that helps somebody, and I will have more videos in the future on the different variations of wheelies, hang 10, 1 foot, all that fun stuff. So get out there, learn how to wheelie, and soon you can do fun variations like this. I've been Eric, this is Epic Freestyle. Like, subscribe, all that fun shit. If you don't do it, Tally will get high. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.